Welcome. It's that moment where I really don't know if I'm live, and I also notice how shit my hair is. Am I live? Beautiful. If I am live, please will someone tell me? I don't know if I'm live or not. It doesn't look like I am. Beautiful. How are we, humans? How are we, gorgeous people? Please let me know. Folks, if you are joining me, come and say hi. Give me a little wave. There's quite a lot of you guys that have been asking and requesting for this. So I would love for you to pop in and say hi. Let me know you're here. If you're watching on the replay, as usual, I always ask you to pop in the comments replay, and I look forward to seeing you all pop in. Guys, if you've got any questions, put them in the Facebook chat and I'll be more than happy to answer them. What I'll probably do is run through everything that I'm going to say today, and then I'll pop onto the chat and have a look, see if there's any questions. But please, by all means, pop them in and I will answer them as best as I can. Okay, so if you're watching replay, type in replay. If you're watching live, just give me a little thumbs up or a smiley face or anything. Donna Marie, you're supposed to be working. What are you doing here? Okay, anyway. So, folks, there is before I unplug my laptop, let's just pop that on there. There is a huge common thing with the women I speak to that is underlying stress, be it minimal amounts on a daily basis to chronically stressed. Either way, it becomes debilitating and has a huge impact on your ability to lose weight. In fact, it's so common that a weight loss survey of about 17,403 people, I wonder how I remember that number, was carried out, and the participants were asked to choose 3 from a list of 10 diet-related problems. Number 5 was stress. That's at 60%. Otherwise, there was inadequate incentive, hunger, bad days, and boredom just before that. But 60% was stress. To explain the link between stress and weight loss, I need to give you a quick science lesson first. So there's a branch of the central nervous system, or in other words, the CNS, that mostly influences the gastrointestinal function and is called the autonomic nervous system, the ANS. Now, the ANS is responsible for stimulating the digestive process, but stress induces cortisol, which is a hormone that is related to the autonomic nervous system. Okay, now that activates the sympathetic system. Now, there are 2 branches to the autonomic nervous system. The parasympathetic, which relaxes the body and turns on digestion. Think more rest and digest. The sympathetic, which turns off digestion when there's no food in your belly or when you're in a fight or flight stress response. Think fight, flight, or freeze, right? And here's a paradigm shift for you guys. No matter how healthy we are, how we eat appears to be about 75% of the truth about weight loss or even weight gain. No matter how much salad we eat, if we're consistently in a stress state, we will struggle to reap the full benefits of those nutrients. So eating, which is necessary for survival, but in a stressed response, i.e. when your ANS is switched into the sympathetic nervous system, will generally lead to digestive upset, decreased nutrient assimilation, unwanted fat storage, which of course leads to weight gain. Gateway. Wow. Not only this, but stress has been linked to the worsening or increase in the risk of conditions like obesity, heart disease, Alzheimer's, diabetes, depression, gastrointestinal problems, and even asthma. If that's not enough to take a bubble bath, I don't know what is. But I joke, because bubble baths truly are an outdated way to unwind and de-stress, as you'll find out later when I explain. So anyway, when the sympathetic nervous system is activated, the relaxation response turns on healthy digestion, assimilation, and calorie burning capacity is amplified. The real kicker here, though, is apart from our stress levels affecting the way our food is or isn't digested, is that when we're stressed out, the foods that we automatically turn to are the most likely going to be traditional comfort foods. Think big meals, takeaways, fatty foods, sweet foods, and even alcohol. And let's face it, we've all found some comfort in a tasty meal and a bottle of beer, or a glass of wine in my case, when we've been stressed out or upset about something. However, on top of decreased metabolic power from being stressed and in a stressed response, this clearly isn't a good permanent solution. So when we're turning to unhealthy foods, you can feel better temporarily, but in the long run, we will feel worse. This is when we look at dealing with emotional eating. When your body isn't getting the right nutrition, you can begin to feel less energetic, more lethargic, less able to concentrate and focus, etc. All of this can lead to more stress eating and never-ending cycle. The bottom line, guys or gals, switch from living, sleeping, and eating while stressed to slowing down, savoring, and enjoying life. Please, for the love of God. The great thing about the ANS and the two branches is that it used to save our lives. It got us to the fast-paced humans that we are today. Great, that's awesome. However, our brain hasn't evolved as fast as our environment, and therefore cannot determine the difference between life-threatening stressors, such as being killed on a daily, and daily stressors, like being stuck in traffic. So thanks, brain, for saving us, but it's about time we make some upgrades, don't you think? It's great to note the silent stressors that don't actually feel stressful, though, because you may never realize that they're actually activating the sympathetic nervous system. So I give you this list of things that could possibly be igniting that stress response, because I want you to understand that not all stress has to feel like you're running around like a headless chicken. So frequent use of social media, obsessive news consumption, high air pollution, excessive noise, frequent travel, intense exercise, food intolerance, high caffeine intake, high alcohol intake, always on text or always on email, always on your phone, long commutes in traffic. But here is where it gets interesting. This is why women need to de-stress to lose weight. Unhappy relationships, lack of confidence, comparing yourself and your journey and your progress to others, negative self-talk. A psychologist called Anne Kearney-Sook specializes in body image. She conducted a survey of 300 women of all sizes and the thoughts that they think about their bodies throughout the day. A disturbing number of women confessed to having 35, 50, and even 100 hateful thoughts about their own shapes and bodies each day. To make it worse, 97% confessed to having at least one "I hate my body" moment every day. These stories, these women tell themselves, the stories you tell yourself, will be turning on the stress response, which is diminishing your health, our health. We cannot heal ourselves with hateful, hurtful lies and stories. It's activating the sympathetic nervous system. It's activating that stress response. I've already talked about what activation of the stress response does. It makes us gain weight. So thinking these hurtful things activates that and makes us gain weight. You're creating a never-ending cycle for yourself. So if we can begin to live healthily in the body and mind that we have, we should look at our stress management systems to see why we are putting on weight in the first place. Guys, gals, I need to stop saying guys. Women, ladies, beautiful people, stop being at war with your own body, but start loving it, because it will love you back more than you think it will. So what can we do to alleviate stress in order to lose weight? You can make huge strides in all sorts of health conditions if you can transform how you manage and prevent stress, often even more so than changing the foods that you actually eat. The first step is to understand what these stresses are and recognize them. If you've been in any of my trainings before, you'll notice I always say the first step is to recognize and name it. The same goes for emotional eating, the same goes for stress. So notice where and when you get stress. Note or journal the following: the time of day, the activity you're doing, the people you're around, the emotions you're feeling. Fill out those 4 prompts every single day for a week, a couple of weeks, and assess the patterns. What's consistently showing up for you? Is it a particular time of day? Is it a particular conversation or person? Or a particular conversation with a person? For example, your goals or your targets with your boss. The more entries you fill, the more data you have, the more answers you have. After you gather the data, I want you to look at how you can prevent or minimize these stresses. So you've found out, you've assessed, you then find out the patterns, and now we prevent. And of course, it wouldn't be a training if I didn't give you ways to de-stress, right? So slip in activities throughout your day or your week that help you unwind, relax, and recalibrate. So I've got some parasympathetic activation activities that you can include. Practice self-love and self-appreciation. I'm going to say that one again, because I know one of you who's watching, and I know you don't have this. Hey, put in the comments if you think it's you, because I would guarantee you at least 3 or 4 people are going to write, it's me. Practice self-love and self-appreciation. This is an easy way to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, to help you activate that rest and digest, to help you start burning calories, burning fat, by just practicing self-love and self-appreciation. It's incredible. It's not woo-woo, it's not bullshit. It's science. Walking outside. Oh, by the way, you should probably get a pen for this, because this is a whole goddamn list. Walking outside. Moderate sun exposure, of course, no more than 20 minutes, and you need to put sunscreen on, so just be careful. Terms and conditions may apply. Exercising, low-key music, massage, deep breathing, positive and engaging conversation with friends. Notice how I worded that. Gossip and drama create stress. We do not want stress. So positive, engaging conversations. Talking with a therapist or trained professional. Laughing. Holding strong boundaries in your relationships, in work, etc. Holding strong boundaries is so important at minimizing stress and preventing it. As soon as people step over your boundary, you become stressed. And if you don't address that or struggle to address it, you are constantly in a stress response, in a stress state. But that person doesn't realize they've overstepped the mark and will probably keep doing it because you haven't set your boundaries, and will keep activating that stress response in yourself. So hold strong boundaries in your relationships, in your work, in your social life, in your diet, to yourself. Snuggling with pets, it's a great one. Minimizing decision making by automating less important tasks. For example, I eat the same breakfast every single day. Some of you might find that goddamn boring, but I eat oats with a little bit of soy milk and some water, a cup full of mixed berries. You're going to laugh because I have this every single day. Half a teaspoon of flax, 1 teaspoon of flax, 1 teaspoon of chia, and 1 teaspoon of hemp seeds every single day. And that's an automated task that I just do because I don't need to think about it. I don't need to think about decision fatigue. Slow yoga and stretching. easy swimming, hot tub and sauna, having sex, nobody wants less of that, non-competitive play, mindfulness and meditation. Consider breaking up with toxic. Why is it when I'm always doing like lives or with clients, the doorbell rings? Consider breaking up with toxic chronic stressors. For example, toxic relationships. Deep breathing, intentional breathing. Guys, this is so important. Take time to de-stress and unwind by just breathing. Guarantee you when you're stressed, you're breathing like that. That's just what we do. It's just natural. So if you take a moment to relax the breath, you will trick your body into becoming less stressed and more relaxed. Reading, writing about your problems, i.e. journaling, that is one of the most important things. Intentionally spreading happiness and feeling gratitude. If at first food really is the only option, I have some recommendations for you to sink your teeth into. Get your pen and paper ready, because if you thought that was a list, this is a freaking list, and it's going to be a hell of a bombshell knowledge in a very short space of time, which is why I prepared notes so I didn't forget a single thing, because this is super important. And I know that so many people are going to be referred back to this video because stress is so prevalent in the day and age that we live in. It's everywhere we look. We go somewhere, there's people stressed, we become stressed, we take on other people's stress. Work is a high stress environment. It's just so inevitable that we all come across this. So I wanted to make sure to you guys that I covered every single basis, hence why I wrote up all of these notes for you. Before I dive headfirst into all of the foods that you can eat when stressed, I want to challenge you to take a step into the unknown. I've had a few clients sign up with me recently between January and February, wanting to change, but not knowing if they can handle change. Wanting weight loss, but not really desiring huge changes in their lives. I want the results, but I'm not too sure if I want to get them. I think I'm too busy. I don't think I'm ready. I don't know how to handle change. Yep, I've been having it a lot recently and I don't know what's going on. And they're killing it. They're smashing it. So I challenge you to message below the word chat, and I'll set up a quick call to see if there's any way you can start the transformation that you want, regardless if you think you're ready or not. That's just your challenge. Just type the word chat below. Anyway, are you ready? Pen, paper at the ready. Cool. Blueberries. Blueberries have some of the highest levels of antioxidants, especially anthocyanin, which means that this berry has been linked to a wide range of health benefits, including sharper cognition, better focus, and a clearer mind, all of which can help you better deal with stress. Of course, I eat blueberries every day. Chamomile tea has been used as a natural bedtime soother, and it has been used in clinical trials. There's literally science out there, it's not just woo-woo, which determined that chamomile tea is effective in reducing the symptoms of generalized anxiety disorder. Avocados contain higher levels of vitamin E, folate, and beta-carotene, which I can never pronounce, I don't know why, than any other fruit, which boosts their stress-busting properties. I'm a great health coach. I can't pronounce most of the scientific words out there. I'm terrible. Oats are a great complex carbohydrate, guys. And eating oatmeal or oats causes your brain to produce higher levels of that feel-good chemical serotonin, helping you to feel calmer and less stressed. And they are a healthy carbohydrate because they do not carry anything else, any bad, any negative things, just a healthy, slow release carbohydrate. Guys, chocolate. Yes, chocolate, but hear me out. Chocolate works best as a de-stressor when eaten in moderation. Yes, I said that. And as part of a healthy and balanced diet. Dark chocolate only. In particular, though, has its benefits and is best for you as it contains more flavonols and polyphenols two hugely important antioxidants which can help combat stress more than any fruit juice. Studies have found that also eating 2 small snack-sized portions of pistachios per day can lower vascular constriction when you are stressed, putting less pressure on your heart by further dilating your arteries. Dark leafy greens, for example spinach, are especially good for you since they are rich in folate, which helps your body to produce more of the mood-regulating neurotransmitters such as serotonin, which is a feel-good chemical that we talked about earlier, as well as increasing energy and fat-burning power. Fermented foods, such as kimchi or sauerkraut, can help keep your gut healthy, which actually in turn will help improve your mental health and your stress levels. The beneficial bacteria found in fermented foods like sauerkraut and kimchi, and miso paste, by the way, have direct effect on your brain chemistry and transmit positive mood and behavior regulating signals to your brain via the vagus nerve. So if worst comes to worst and you're like, Bianca, I cannot deal with this shit yet, I still need to eat, they are the things that you need to eat and drink. Okay. This has been a hell of a live. It has been jam-packed because I have spent all freaking day on these notes. But I hope that makes sense. Guys, if you've got any questions, please drop them in the comments below to this video. Don't forget to write the word chat if you are not yet already a client. And we can see if you're ready. And if you're not ready, when you can start. Because, you know, you can't wait until you're ready to start anything. No one's ready. You can never foresee the future. I guarantee you'll never be ready for anything until you take the first step. Let's have a look. Don't worry, I was that in reference to work? Are you working? Helen, when I'm hungry, I get stressed. Interesting. Not when you're stressed, you get hungry. That's interesting. When I'm hungry, I get stressed. So Helen, I'm wondering if you're still here. I'm not too sure if you're still here. I'm wondering if that comes from a place of panic and worry of when your next meal's coming, or what is it going to serve to you? Is it going to be enough calories? Is it going to be too many calories? Is it going to be healthy? That to me sounds like that there might possibly be some sort of background in terms of the food becoming maybe something that might have been obsessed about. Let me know. I don't know if you're still here. I can't see who or if anyone's watching. For some reason it just doesn't show you. Let me know if that makes sense, and feel free to shoot me a message and we can talk about that. That's interesting. Don't worry, I do that and love it. Some might find eating the same thing boring, but I love it, as you know. Okay, yeah, my breakfast oats, yeah, every damn day. And do you know what? It reduces decision fatigue. Just stick with the same shit. That's why minimalism works. If you've never heard of it, Google it. It's basically people or a theory or concept where people live with next to nothing intentionally, because everything around you is clutter, right? It's brain clutter. Even the pictures, my certifications behind me, my big beautiful vagina picture, which my best friend painted for me. That, by the way, before anyone says anything, represents the female empowerment. Anyway, if you want one, let me know. She does all different sizes and stickers. Yeah, so minimalism is basically a concept based on having very, very little, appreciating it and being grateful for it, because you don't have clutter in your environment. You don't have stuff taking up your space. You can have the most amount of space with the least amount of stuff, with the least amount of memories attached to it, especially negative memories or negative thoughts and feelings and emotions. So it really is stripping all the bullshit back from your life and focusing on the bare minimum, which can be really important nowadays. Anyway, I'm going off on one of those tangents that I always go off on. So I'm going to say goodbye. Take care. Shoot me a message. I would love to know in the comments below how you found this. And if you need anything, shoot me a DM and I will catch you later, folks. Take care. Bye. Oh crap. No, I've done it again. Why do I do this? Stop video. Bye.